Welcome. I am really glad you are here. I am Laureen Quick, and I work with women over 50 who find themselves in a familiar but unsettling place when nothing is obviously wrong. In fact, a lot of things about their life is great, and yet something that just no longer feels right. This conversation is part of the Next Chapter Summit, a gathering for women navigating change, reinvention, and renewal after 50. It's a space that honors the moment before decisions, when truth is sensed before it's spoken, and a woman begins to realize that she may no longer be available for the life she's been living. So many women in midlife are capable, thoughtful, and deeply responsible, and they hold everything together well. Sometimes they've done that for decades, and yet beneath all the competence, there can be this quiet grief, a resistance, a restlessness, or a sense that something essential has been postponed for far too long. And that is why I am really glad to be joined today by Sara Fernandes. Sara is a clarity and growth coach, a creative entrepreneur, and the founder of Life Mastery Magazine, a space devoted to supporting midlife women as they navigate transitions in their life. And they do it with honesty, with courage, and with heart. Through her coaching, her writing, and her community work, Sara invites women to see midlife not as a problem to be fixed, but really as a season of emergence with clarity and full of possibility. What you're about to hear is not a lesson, it's not a roadmap, it's a conversation. And it's grounded and reflective and deeply human. And this is giving you a glimpse into the kind of dialogue that we are creating throughout the Next Chapter Summit. Sara, I am so glad you are here and thrilled to have you as one of our speakers for the upcoming Next Chapter Summit. Let's get going. First question. Many women over 50 say, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. In fact, I love my life, but still, something just isn't right anymore. When women first come to you at this stage in their life, what do you notice they are often sensing or quietly grieving over or about before they ever give a name to this desire to change and to reinvent themselves?
Hi, Laureen. Thank you so much for having me. That's a great question. What I notice is it isn't really a desire to change. It is that quiet sense of loss, the quiet sense that something is not right, just like you said.
Mhm.
Like you described that woman so well. You know, women sometimes can't really name it, but they feel like they lost contact with themselves.
Mhm.
That the life that they lived, the life that they built, it worked until it didn't anymore.
Mhm.
And that's where that grief sometimes comes in, because they lose that version of themselves that they were for so long. And they lose it not because they made bad choices, but because they spent years being capable, responsible, and careful not to make waves most of the time.
Mhm.
And instead of seeing this as a signal, they often see this or think that there's something wrong with them, that they need to fix something. But nothing is broken. They're just outgrowing the life they've been living. It's as simple as that.
And I love the way you put that because then to me, it's like it's not really about fixing me. It's
Mm.
about modifying my life, changing the
Exactly.
external world to fit who I am once I'm back in touch with myself again, right? Once I
Exactly.
remember who I am. Yeah.
Yes, that we lost while we were taking care of all the things and
Mhm.
being responsible and living the life.
It's like it's a slow disappearing act, right? We
It is.
one little decision at a time, we give ourselves up in order to serve someone else that we love and care for, or because it's expedient, or because it's necessary for a family unit, or for the business, or for whatever it is. And then over time, the accumulation of all of that brings us to this moment when we have this memory of who we were,
Mm.
and we want to rediscover that.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with caring for our families. There's nothing wrong with having a business. There's nothing wrong with showing up for others. It's not like, oh, because you've always shown up for others, you no, it's just that we did that and slowly we stopped taking care of ourselves. But
Mhm.
we have no one else to blame but ourselves if we want to blame here someone, because that nothing makes it that you can't care for your loved ones, that you have to absolutely give up on yourself.
Yeah.
That's not it.
It will, and it takes wisdom to balance that. And we don't have that wisdom
True,
until we're a little older,
true, true,
right?
true.
So yeah, you're right. It's not that the decisions we made were wrong.
No,
They were perfect for us in the moment, but now it's time for some new perspective, and maybe some different kinds of decisions.
absolutely. We live in seasons. We are entering a new season in life, most of us, and so we make decisions for the season we're in.
Exactly.
And
And so,
sometimes
oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
sometimes we just forget to reset when a new season starts. We just keep accumulating what we didn't reset for the new season, right?
Exactly. And this is the time for a big reset for many of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know, as a coach, as a writer, you have met women, and witnessed women, cross powerful internal thresholds.
Mhm.
Is there subtle but maybe invisible moments when you can tell a woman is no longer available for the life that she's been living? Like, is there a point when she knows that happens, or is it just what we wake up and suddenly we realize this, or how does that happen for us?
Well, there is a moment, and it's very, very subtle
Hmm.
because nothing really has changed yet. But when we see a woman that we know that has been in this limbo, in this space, suddenly she stands a little taller, she takes a little bit more space, and she hasn't probably realized it yet because we start to externalize this,
Hmm.
because she's just made that decision that it's not okay to stay where she's been until now. So she's decided that she's going to move. She's going to take a step. She doesn't know what the step is. It might be the wrong one. It doesn't matter, because the minute she decides, her body starts to act differently. She shows up differently. And so it's very subtle, and she might not even realize it. But if we've been watching her, if it's someone that we know,
Uh-huh.
we're going to start to see these little things. And she's unstoppable at this moment. And she doesn't even know it yet, because she hasn't consciously, she knows she's taking a step. She doesn't know the step. She's probably more lost than she was yesterday, because she's just thinking, okay, I've got to move. What am I going to do? I need to make a decision. She doesn't know what it is, but already her body, the energy has shifted, and you can see that.
Isn't it interesting that our body knows before we do? And we
Right?
only do up here, right? In our heads. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I do think you're right. This woman, she carries herself
Very differently.
very differently. And so, you may not even know it, but then you might notice yourself moving through a room in ways you've never walked through a room before.
Yeah.
Or
And you know what's interesting? People will come up to you and say, "What happened? Did you cut your hair? What have
yeah.
you done? You're different." And you're,
Uh,
"No, it's me. Mm-mm. Something is different," and nobody can quite put a finger on it.
yeah.
But that it's the energy, it's the way we show up, she shows up, or we show up. It's everything about her starts to change. It's beautiful.
And it becomes even more powerful when she finally is aware, when she finally is able to
Oh, yes.
recognize, oh, I am not the same person I was. I am, or rather, I have become the person I have always been. I'm no longer hiding. I'm no longer
Yes.
pretending. I'm allowing myself to just simply be.
Exactly, because we talk a lot, and I'm glad you mentioned it. We talk about who do I want to be? Who do I want to become? And actually, we turn and turn in circles trying to figure out who we want to become. And we are never better than who we really are. It's when we find who we
Mhm.
really are that we shine and that we show up fully and that we can live with whatever is around us
I
and
love.
it won't phase us.
And so, if there is a woman listening today and she feels restless, but still responsible, she's capable, she's thoughtful, and she is at the same time quietly tired of holding it all together, what would you want her to know about the moment she is standing in right now?
Well, I want her to know that restlessness isn't a flaw, it's a signal. Most of the time, it doesn't mean you need to make a huge decision. It just means that you haven't been making the decision, a decision, even a small one, that would allow you to move out of that restlessness, out of that funk, if you will. You're just there, and I mean, you don't feel good. I don't know for most people how it happens. For me, my body gets sick. I can't breathe if I'm feeling in that box, if I'm not moving. I'd
Mhm.
rather move even if it's in the wrong direction, because guess what? If I'm going in the wrong direction, I'm going to turn around at the right moment. Doors are opening and closing, and the universe, the energy, everything is working to help me figure it out. But if you're just there, you can't breathe, so don't take that as, oh my, no, it's your signal to move, to make the decision to not be okay with where you are right now. That is
Absolutely.
so, so important.
It's
And
like
it's
one,
not, go
oh,
on.
I was just going to say, it's like one big giant adventure.
It is. What is life if not an adventure?
It is exactly where you just start walking and see where you go and trust that you'll be
Absolutely.
guided.
Yeah.
And we are.
Because guess what? Guess what? When it's like when you put out positive in the universe, you're gonna get positive back. You
Mhm.
know, if you are going, if you are moving, if you are showing signs that you really want to figure this out, the universe is going to help you out figuring it out. You can be sure of that.
I absolutely believe that. Um,
Me too.
Absolutely. So there we go. Well, listen, before we close today, I do want to make this offer. If this conversation has helped you recognize a quiet grief, a restlessness in you, or even a sense that you may no longer be available for the life that you are currently living, even if nothing has changed in your life, but you're just feeling that, that is the kind of moment that we are honoring throughout the Next Chapter Summit. This gathering is not about rushing decisions or reinventing yourself overnight. It's about creating space to tell the truth, listen more deeply, and allow clarity to emerge in its own time. You will find a link in the conversation notes about the summit, including dates and how to register. If you are thinking at all that this might be something for you, I highly encourage you to say yes and sign up to attend. Sara, to you, I want to say thank you for the honesty that you bring to our conversations, the insight, and the steadiness that you bring to all women who are standing in these thresholds. We are so grateful. I am so thrilled to have you be a part of the summit. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to everyone listening, if you feel capable, responsible, and quietly tired of holding it all together, you are not behind. You are really just beginning. And you are warmly, I do truly mean this, warmly welcome to join us. Thanks for listening.